Veronica. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, hanging in here. Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Kim Ross-Hollingsworth, and I'm the founder of the Arts and Authors Extravaganza and Book Builders Academy, where we provide a platform for authors and artists to showcase their work and sell it. And also, we help current and new authors write, publish, and market their books. And the purpose of this podcast is so that I can get to know you a little bit better. Because when I'm at the extravaganza and the shows, I don't get a lot of time to go around to each one of the authors and artists to get to know you or even to purchase from you. So this is a chance for me to do so. And everybody that's listening and watching, we're on several different platforms. We are here with Veronica Dinkins, and we're here to have a conversation. How are
Hello.
you guys?
Glad
Well,
to be here.
thank you for
Glad to be here.
joining me. Yes, after we were advertising for a while, it was like, I wanted to definitely find out a little bit more about what you do, about your children's book. And we did have a little conversation prior. You were talking about like different people that were coming to you that was interested in the arts and authors. So can you tell us
Yes.
a little bit about yourself first, and then I want to hear about that.
Okay, so my name is Veronica Dinkins. I published a book around late December 2020 called Everybody Gets Nervous. It was on my bucket list of things that I wanted to do. I'm 42 and I made a 40 before 40 list.
Oh,
And this was one of the 40 items that I wanted to do. And I at the beginning of my career as an educator, um, I read a lot of children books to classrooms, and a lot of times they were great avenues to introduce difficult conversations to have, but it was like kind of a soft way to have a conversation with students about different topics. And when I decided that I wanted to write a children's book, I wanted to write something that dealt with emotions, because I feel like a lot of young children have trouble with emotional regulation. So I think that when children can identify that emotion, then it's easier to kind of deal with that emotion, especially once you realize that you're not the only person that has that emotion. That this is not abnormal. This happens, and we can deal with this. And so the first book that I wrote was called Everybody Gets Nervous, and I just thought that was a nice emotion to start with, because again, people say they don't get nervous, but there's something that makes
Mhm.
somebody nervous.
Oh, we
So
get nervous.
yeah, so
We
there's something that
definitely
makes
get
even
nervous.
if you can talk to any star and they'll tell you they might have stage fright, but you wouldn't know during their performance.
That
So you have a lot of things that make people nervous. You know,
yeah,
the pandemic and all the different regulations we've had make
that's
people nervous. So, and everybody's at the different levels of nervousness.
it's
So it's just in my book, this is my book right here. In my
beautiful.
book and my book is just walking you through all these different people and their nervous situations.
Oh,
So
nice.
so it was, a nice book to write, and just a nice thing to do. And I actually started it in at the end of 2019, and then I picked it up in February of 2020. I actually had emergency surgery that
Oh,
month, and I had to stay home and sit down. And I said, "Well, I'm sitting down, so I might as well get this finished." And that's
that's
what happened
right.
with this book.
Well, I like the fact that you wrote about nervousness because I have this thing about getting on the mic
Yes.
we talked about before. So, I mean, you know, a lot of us have reasons why we get nervous, and I believe it's like an underlying subconscious thing that we have going on, and it can stem from our childhood. And that's why I'm glad you wrote that book, because most of the time, the things that we're going through is because we're either bullied in school or
Mhm.
by a family member or something like that. And, it's good to have that icebreaker from childhood, you know, because that's where it
Just
all
to
came
get
from.
to talking, people, and when you have, like, at least when I'm in a classroom, if you have an open discussion, then you're like, well, what makes you nervous? And then
Yeah,
20 people get to hear 20 people say the different things that make them nervous. And it's like, oh, that makes me nervous too. And
yeah,
then it's like, oh, I didn't know. Like, I put this person up here and I didn't think they
exactly.
got nervous, and they explained something that's like, I don't like driving over bridges.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
hopefully
it's
they
a
can
necessary
overcome their,
evil.
yeah, they can hopefully like overcome what's making them nervous, because if you face that fear, sometimes, well, most of the time you can overcome it, but you
Yes.
face it. And sometimes we don't even know what our fear is. I know what
Yeah,
my
you don't
fear is.
know until, like, sometimes you're nervous just because you've never done something before. So
Exactly.
then, so then it's like, okay, I know I'm gonna just do this, get it
It's
done,
so true.
and then the next time I'm not gonna be as nervous because
That's right.
I can look back
I
and say
agree.
I have done this before. But sometimes it's just a thing. People just have their phobias of different
Yeah.
things, and some of them they can't even be explained. It's like, okay, like
Yeah.
some people really don't like crowds. Like it really, you know. I was on a date one time, and the dude told me it was the first date and the last. He told me that crowds make him nervous. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So, and the day that we went out on a date was St. Patrick's Day.
Oh gosh.
And I was like, I don't know why I thought of
Why?
that idea.
That's when you had the most crowd.
And we went to like a bar. It was like a bar restaurant. And I'm like talking to him, and like it was fine, but then more people started coming in, and they were
Yeah,
being loud, and his like beads of sweats come across his
exactly.
forehead, and I was like, wow. He was like, I really need to
You
go.
should have taken him to a movie. At least it's just you and him.
But it was like one of those situations where I was like, wow, like I really wasn't listening.
Arlette said it's the first and the last date.
He did not call me again.
Do you see her making these comments? You see Arlette?
No, I don't. I can't.
First of all, she said, "Congratulations, Veronica." And then she said, that was the first and the last date, taking him to that restaurant. All those people.
And it was just like I was just like in my head, like, yeah, this wasn't a good idea. It was like a Saturday too. It was like St. Patrick's
Oh,
Day on a Saturday, so it
no
wasn't even
way.
like a weekday. So it was just like
Horrible.
everybody's out, and
But you're right. You never know what makes someone nervous. And then there's so many people who don't even speak about it.
yeah,
So
like he
you can be,
literally had the. You know
yeah,
how the bottom, how the outside of a soda can looks
yeah.
when it. That's how his forehead looked,
The
and I was like,
condensation.
oh my god, like I was just like, this is
So
serious.
horrible.
Like this is really serious. I was just like,
Yeah.
okay.
So I know it's just strange though, because these are conversations that you can have, if you know what the situation is. But like you said, sometimes you don't even know what someone's going through, or like you said, what makes them nervous, what makes them tick, what you just don't know. And most
Yeah,
people don't even share it with you. So, this book I think is a good book that can, not only work for children, it can also work for some adults.
yes.
You know,
So
can you
I
show us
have heard
that book
someone say
again
that
real
before.
quick? And can you show us that book real quick again?
Yes.
And also read the back of it for me?
Okay. It says every day people get nervous, and if you notice, there's like all ages here. So
That's right.
it's not just one age.
I
So
agree.
it's all ages here.
And you
So
have a lot of different professions there, I see too.
yeah, so we have a mailman. We just have the average guy, has flowers in his hands. we have a graduate, there's just different things, it's just different things, just different situations, just showing you, people can get nervous. Like, so this is like a mailman and there's like a dog.
Heck yeah. That
So
that would
it's
make
like,
me nervous.
like that's not something that everybody has to encounter on during their workday,
Right.
but that's something that they have to encounter.
Exactly.
And then this is just like a cashier dealing with different customers and
angry customers.
and then you have like a boy and a lion and just different things
Aw.
that, and then it's just a calendar showing you that this is not just a one-time thing, it's
Yes.
everyday thing. This is like a girl thinking about all the different things she has to do, like sell Girl Scout cookies and a recital. And, I have a goddaughter that she's trying to meet her goal. She's trying to sell 1,000 boxes of cookies.
Yes.
So, so people have their
hard.
goals. And, this is just an older woman, guests are coming and they're thinking about, what your house looks like. And it's just,
different scenarios.
I'm prepared for a test, just all these different situations. And, as we said earlier, giving speeches. And so it's just, thinking about what you wear to the beach, like that's something every summer, at least a lot of females are worried about what they might wear to the beach. And just even, being served a dish that you don't like. And
your mom forcing you to eat it.
Yeah, and just try to be polite, especially if you're in someone else's house. At home, you're pretty okay with saying I don't like that, but and just trying to make basketball, and just even like every day trying to remember if you forgot your lunch and just different things. And then I just end it with something real positive, like even on a positive day, someone's graduating, but you're worried about the crowd. Yes. So it's like everybody else is like, this is such a wonderful thing. And you're sitting here, you're worried about like how many people are going to be staring at you. Exactly. Like, just send me the diploma in the mail. I don't need to stand in front of all these different people.
Yeah, because if you're in front of a crowd, and I do believe that's number one for me, is being in front of a crowd, especially like what you had in the book about public speaking. In the classroom, and I know for a fact that's where my public speaking stemmed from as well.
Yes.
Like having the role play in front of the classroom and public speaking and
well, here's the thing, I am fine like if I'm on stage performing.
Yes.
So because I'm just worried about the performance, like
really,
like if I'm dancing, like I did African dance in college, and it's like I like the music. So it's the fact that the crowd's enjoying something that I'm just having fun. Whereas sense. Like when I feel put on the spot, that's when it's like, wait a minute. Or you're in a situation where like, like even like people who are preachers, they sit in the pulpit and they're sitting up and it's just like, there's all these people just looking at you. And then I'm just like, I don't want to just sit there facing the crowd and just have people just looking at me. Like, I have to be doing something. If I'm not doing something, I'd rather just be in the crowd.
That's true.
So I'm somebody that I feel like it has to feel purposeful. Like I don't want to just be the spotlight. I want to have a purpose for the spotlight. If there's no purpose, like I want to do what I need to do and sit back down. So it's like, even like if you give me like announcements to do, like I'm fine because it's a mission to it. I know it's a beginning and an ending. But if you like on a whim tell me, like I was a cheerleader in high school. And I just remember one time, like on a whim, the coach is like, here, talk about the cheerleading team.
Yeah.
And in the auditorium, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this.
I wouldn't be able to do that either.
Like, and you would think, okay, if you're doing a cheer all the time in front of the crowd, like, no, that's a cheer. That's different.
Yeah.
Like we practice every day on this. And
exactly.
You know
and that's what I was going to say. If you're more prepared for the situation, it's a little easier. But when you're not prepared for it, it's like, what am I talking about?
Yeah, I tell people I always need an outline. I need some type of outline to go back to, even with, it's like, oh, you've been teaching for a long time. No, I still need a plan. Like, I don't like going in without a plan.
It's so
Like,
true. I
and
agree.
I think a lot of my like, I definitely am not as nervous as I used to be,
Mhm.
because when I used to substitute teach, you really had to think on your feet. Like, you could
Yeah.
walk in and have to take over someone's class, and you, like, they don't know you at all. And you have to
Exactly.
go in, take over a class, and sometimes there won't even be plans. So
Oh,
you're like, I have to entertain these people
yes.
for
Now, what
all
class do you
24.
teach?
Say it again.
What class do you teach? Like how
Um,
old?
I wear multiple hats. I teach third grade, and I also teach English as a second language.
Oh, wow. So that's
So
a good thing. Third graders
yes.
are very impressionable.
So I meet all different age ranges, and over the years, even when I subbed, I used to sub all over. So I subbed from preschool all the way through high school, and it's like really a different experience when you go in with all the different ages. And
I believe it. So is
so
that the only grade that you teach right now?
well, my school is K-8,
Okay.
and so for ESL, I work with all the grades, and then for regular teaching, I do just third grade.
Wow, that's awesome. And so how long have you been in the education field?
Since 2004.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've been in education since 2004. I actually used to work at well, it was Wachovia when I worked there, but now it's Wells Fargo. So I used to work at the bank, and I knew I didn't want to stay at the bank, so I was always like inquisitive with the people that would come to my window, and I would ask them questions.
Mhm.
And one day there was a literacy they were called literacy intern teachers, and
Yes.
it was through Philadelphia School District. And one of my customers had a check that said literacy intern teacher, and that just happened to be something that when I would look at the classifieds, that I would say, oh, the reading specialist is something that sounds very interesting. And one day I asked one of the customer a question. He said, you should apply. And then
Wow.
I applied, and I didn't know if I wanted to go to grad school or not,
Uh-huh.
and I applied to the Actors Studio in New York. They had a grad school program at the time, and it was the only like acting program that I applied to for graduate school. And I said I only would go to New York and live if I was connected to a school.
That's right.
So I applied, I got an audition, and then I was just like, if I don't get this audition, I'm going to teach. And then I didn't get the audition. I mean, I got
Oh,
the audition, but I just didn't get into the program. So I
right.
ended up going forth with applying to this literacy intern program, and that is what started my career in education.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. And
Yes,
I'm glad you're teaching because we need some good teachers out there.
yes, yes. And and along the way, I still was pursuing entertainment. So
Mhm.
it was like either my first or second year that I used to, for half the year. This is how old I am. I don't know if you ever went to the Spaghetti Warehouse in
No, I
Philadelphia.
always wanted to go.
So I did a murder mystery dinner theater
Ooh.
there. So I was the villain in this play, this dinner theater, and I was teaching at the time. So like every other Friday, because it was two sets, two casts, and
Yes.
every other Friday I was going for like at least half of the school year. Every other Friday I would go down and perform, and just just had a lot
Yeah.
of opportunities to do a lot of different things.
Well, shoot, if you ever have one again, please invite me. And because I love murder mystery dinners.
It
Love
was fun.
them.
It was different. I was just like, wow, this is very different. Because I've done, I had done some things on stage, but this was like, talk about nervousness. It's like, this is interact with these people at the table. And
Yes.
it's like a different, like, there's no like boundary between you and a crowd. So it was that was a different experience for me.
That is nice. Well, I'm getting some people who are trying to give me comments on, I don't know if it's on Facebook or YouTube, but I'm going next week because I know you can hear me because I've been getting messages. I will have my laptop or my iPad around so that I can answer, I can see YouTube and everything because the only one that I can see right now is StreamYard, and Arlette is the only one that's on StreamYard. The other ones I will have to actually be on those platforms, and I can't see every single platform while I'm, on StreamYard. So I will try to have that available. And I think that one person was Linda. So if you can come on StreamYard, I can definitely answer your question now. Otherwise, I'll answer your question afterwards. But Arlette says, I remember a spaghetti warehouse, ate there a couple of times. I always wanted to go to that place, but I don't know what prevented me from going. But it was like in my 20s or 30s, I believe. I think it was either 20s or 30s. I always wanted to go there too. And Arlette says she has eaten there a couple of times, and she says, oh, and she's posting from YouTube. So you're posting from YouTube. So Linda, if you can post from YouTube, Arlette is posting from YouTube. Thank you, Arlette. But this is really interesting, and I'm glad we actually had a chance to talk to you, Veronica, because I know for a fact you have a lot of people out there that's watching you right now.
Well,
And
thank you. I have a huge family.
I
So
and a huge following I see. And
I have a lot of people around me, and I always say, it's very good to network
yes, it
and
is.
network and be nice and cordial to everybody you meet. And if it's the Linda, I think it might be the Linda. I have a lot. I have a
Linda,
couple
this
Lindas.
one's Linda Joyce.
Yes. So when I used to sub, she used to work for the district I used to sub for. That's how I first met
Oh,
her.
really? Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And I think it's amazing because I remember her telling me about her writing, and then she went on and she started
Amazing.
doing plays. And I just
Yes, she
remember
does.
having a conversation with her about it. And I wasn't even thinking about writing at that time. So
What?
so I just
She
think
is.
it's amazing to watch people do their thing.
Do
And
their thing, they grow, and and some people, they do one thing, but then they go into something different. But Linda is consistent. She's been
yes.
doing this thing for a very long time, and I'm learning a lot from her.
Yes, I just think it's amazing. I know the year that I put out my book, I
Mhm.
knew several other people that put out books that year.
Wow,
So, a former roommate of mine put out a book, and she's on her second book.
that's
Her name
nice.
is Octavia Rahim, and
Mhm.
she put out a book that was really good. And everybody's topics are different. So
They
hers is
are.
related to resting. So it's just like everybody had all these different topics, and like they were just on time, I felt. And it was good
Exactly.
to see people doing those things.
Yeah, and during the pandemic, that was a time, and even now, because some of us, are still, working from home or haven't returned back to work yet. So this is the perfect time for us to write those books or start those small businesses or businesses that we had under, in our minds that we wanted to put out there. I mean, this is the perfect time to do it. And like you said, during the time that you wrote your book, that was the perfect time to get these books out there. And that's what we try to do with the Book Builders Academy. We try to we help people write, publish, and market their books. And we know everyone has a story. And
Mhm.
and even if you don't want to tell your story,
Yes.
there's something you can help someone with. Like what you said with the, helping someone overcome nervousness, and you know, there's always something that you can teach someone.
And there's room for everybody because everybody has their
And there's
thing.
room for everybody. There's no competition out there. We don't care if you wrote a book or if you're teaching somebody how to write a book. We don't care because there's enough room for all of us, all
Yes.
out there. And look at what you have. Now, I've had several authors on here, children's authors, and none of them wrote about nervousness. So that's what I'm saying. There's plenty of room. Just because there's one children's author doesn't mean that you can't have other children's authors, because you're all writing something different.
Yes.
And if you are writing about the same thing, you're going to have a different outcome. I
Yeah,
guarantee
your focus is different,
your
you
focus
know.
is going to be different.
Your focus is definitely different, you know.
So there's
And
no competition. So let's just get these stories out there, because I will be reading them. Now, do you plan on writing any other children's books
yes, I do. I
or
have.
books in general?
Yes, I do have another one coming up the pipe. I just need to get an illustrator. I've been working. I'm also in the process of saving money for a house, so I'm kind of
Mhm.
like juggling a lot of things right now.
Yes. I
So,
believe.
so I'm trying to really, um, try to figure out the one thing that I want to focus on, and I'm
Yes.
like, okay, I have it written. So it's like, I just need to, cause with everybody gets nervous. I had it, the illustrator did the pictures, but I actually had I pre-drew my pictures.
Oh, wow.
So, and it was my publisher that says, let's make this look a little bit more professional. But I actually had pre-drew my pictures. So I really had this vision. So like,
Yes.
it's like, I want this.
Right.
So it's like I could like really express to the person what I want. And sometimes in the
Yeah.
process, someone sees an idea and then they give you some ideas that they're thinking of.
Exactly.
But I kind of like, so down with this other book, I didn't draw, but I did make notes of what I expect to see. So it's
Yes.
just making sure that in the process I hook up with a good person that can bring
Well, I
forth.
may be able to help you with that. So
Okay,
stay,
okay.
stay tuned till the end. But yes, but yeah, but I think that that's interesting, because like I was telling uh the first one of the first children's authors that I interviewed, I was writing a children's book for many years. I've been writing a
Yeah.
children's book. It was in reference to my grandmother. Ada's Rules is the name of the book.
Okay.
I never finished it. It right now is still on the back burner, and I want to finish it because
You
you
could do it. You could just sit down and do it.
listen. I have so many
And
things
she's
on
your
my plate.
grandma, so you really can just get it. You can get it out. Like in grad school, I had to write a book, and I'm so mad I can't find it because it did involve my
Really?
grandma. Like,
Oh,
and it was like we just had to, it was part of an assignment that we had to do.
yes.
And she gave us like it was blank on the inside novel, and we had to
Nope.
illustrate it
I
and
had one of those
share.
too. I
And
started
it
it,
was
but
a nice it was nice to do, and I'm like, I have so much to say about my grandma. I'm like,
exactly.
and I'm a just do it person.
Yes.
So, because I
Well, I
write,
am too, but I don't know why this book is taking so long to come out.
and sometimes you think it has to be like absolutely perfect the first time,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of like, I'm somebody that I got to get it all out, and I can edit later.
Yep. That's
Um,
me.
And it's just like, because I've done a lot of poems and things, and some
Yes.
people are like, "Oh, you like." I think they think I'm not a freestylist. Like I can let it out, but then I need to edit, and it's just like it
Yeah.
might come off like, "Oh, I could do this off the top of my head," but no,
Well,
I
I
have to
think what
just write.
the issue with me is I have so many other tasks, and then there's always
Absolutely.
something else that's coming up, and I don't get a chance to finish it. And I think that's what the main thing is. And with that, it's just I keep pushing it on the back burner. And then we already have a Medea out there, and all of our grandmas were Medeas. So
Well,
like it's not anything new, you
Well,
know.
you know what? But just think, I love romantic comedies. Like, and like there's like a formula for romantic
Yes.
comedies. Like you see the same story over and over again, and everybody keeps putting
Linda
them
got
out.
on. Hey,
Like, everybody love, like, that's how I relax.
yes.
I like romantic comedies, And most of the time, like someone might add a twist, but most of the time, how the story is going to end.
It's so true.
And people keep doing it. And even with myself, like, I don't know when I would have finished my book if I hadn't been recovering from surgery.
That's true.
But I remember I used to do something called Veronique's Acronym of the Week, and I would make up these acronyms. And I saw, and those years, I thought all I had was about 5 minutes to sit down and write per week. And I'm like, I can do an acronym a week. I was like, and I kept it going, and I go back and I keep going back, and I'll repost some of my old ones. I'm like, oh, I really like that. But it was just like, it was my way of feeding my writing, even though I didn't have time. So it was just like, okay, I could do an acronym once a week. An acronym's not a story. It's just, it can give just as great as a message as a story. But
and that's good to know.
But one of the reasons why I did it was like, okay, I have to keep writing, and I don't have time to do anything like big. But like, I was doing the acronym of the week, and then I was getting a good response for some of them. So it was like, so it was just something where I always tell people, like, I like creating things. So I feed like my whatever creativity need to create through different ways. So like writing is one avenue, acting is another avenue, dance is another avenue. Sometimes I decorate my own nails. That's another avenue. Like hair color, makeup is another avenue. So it's just like, and it doesn't always have to. I think sometimes we procrastinate because we think we have to go all big like the first time.
So sometimes,
or like even with finding time, like even if you just found 5 minutes once a week, like
I'm going to take those tips because I definitely want to get it out. Definitely, because I mean, our children are lost. Some of these children are lost. I don't know what's going on, but they're not the same.
I think they need interaction. I think they need to me, they need interaction with each other, and they need interaction with adults. And when I was younger, you had more interaction, like you had more family dinners.
I think that's what it is.
Well, you had more gatherings where you were having conversations. And right now, like when I was younger, you had to call my house, and you had to say hello properly.
There you go.
And if you wanted to talk to me, you had to address. So you had to address my parents in a certain way.
And they're not even saying, my grandkids do it to me. Grandma, do you know where my charger is? Hello? It's like.
But the thing is, they do enjoy it when you make them interact. I feel like they do enjoy it. Like,
they do.
Like even though they don't do it automatically.
Like, oh, hello, Grandma. But Linda and Arlette is going off over here. I had to. Linda, you are never invisible. Trust me, you're never invisible. And Arlette said they need to get rid of those cell phones.
But the thing is, you can be productive about that. You can be like, you know what? After this time, you can't have the cell phone on. Like, because you have to do that even with adults. Like,
have a limit on these cell phones, and that's even for us adults. That's why, in the morning, a certain amount of time, I do not even answer my emails, my text messages, or anything. I try not to do it. You have to have boundaries. You have to. Arlette said you can take yourself for a writer's getaway, a couple of nights in a hotel to get away, relax, and write. Ooh, that sounds beautiful, Arlette. Beautiful. And I will try that. This is awesome. Thank you, Hormiga. This is awesome. But yes, but these steps, I'm telling you, are great, especially when you're a writer, because a lot of people, there's so many people who want to write, but they don't know where to start. They don't know how to start. I'm a 10 times author. I'm actually writing my 11th book right now. But and that's another reason why I haven't written my children's books, because like I said,
so you've done other projects.
But I will get these projects done. I will get them done. Yes, that's a great idea. Yes, it is, Linda. That really is a great idea. But let me see. Uh,
And sometimes I need a class. Sometimes I need a class because the class will help hold me accountable. Like
yes,
sometimes I've joined things just because I need someone to hold me accountable
I agree.
because I will push it to the back. So it's not so much like I always feel like I'm a lifelong learner, but sometimes I'm taking a class because I know they're going to make me right.
That's
Like,
right.
like I'm going to take this
They
class
hold
because
you
I'm not going to have a
accountable, or
choice.
an accountability partner. Um,
Yeah.
like I have a Go Be Great sisterhood community that I'm involved with. And I also have I have a couple of different sisterhood communities that I'm involved with, but they keep you accountable with a lot of things. And that's what we need for our writers group as well. And that's what I started with the Book Builders Academy. So if you search that on Facebook, you'll see that I have the Book Builders Academy group where we keep each other accountable. And I want to get more interaction with that group just
Yeah.
for this,
Mhm.
because there's a lot of writers groups out there, but I have my own that I want to definitely uh keep people interactive, and to start writing these books, because everyone, like I said, everyone has a story, and we want to get these stories out there, and I want to be able to read them. So
Yes.
so like you were saying about some of the people that you were involved with the Arts and Authors Extravaganza and the Book Builders Academy, send them over to us, so that we can start working together, and we can also have our books for the Arts and Authors, in which you are going to be a part of already.
Yes.
And also to get these articles written in this magazine, because the next magazine is coming out uh in March. Well, March is going to be the deadline, so April 1st is going to be the next magazine for the Arts and Authors
Okay.
coming out.
That's the day before my mother's birthday.
Oh, really? Oh, so
Yes,
that's
she's
going to be
April
a gift for
2nd.
her, because you are going to be in that magazine, so that's a nice gift for her. And what advice would you give to aspiring authors, or anyone who's looking to write a children's book or any other book?
Um, I just say just write. Just write. Like
That's my
get
mom.
your ideas out because sometimes like sometimes I can get a whole bunch of ideas out and then I can walk away. I can come back 10 days later and be like, oh, I wrote that. Let me
Yes,
add this to it. And like sometimes like I don't know, it's like you can force it in a certain way, but in another way you can't force it. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna write. I'm gonna give myself this time to write, and then after a certain time period, I'm just gonna walk away because sometimes I need to come back with fresh eyes.
that's right.
Um, Sometimes I've been asked to like write some poetry for funerals, and it's like I know like it's easier when I know the person. If I don't know the person, it's like wow, I really have to work on this, and I have to like do a little bit more background and asking people questions because it's like, well, I know you want me to write this, but I don't know this person as much, so let me like
That's
think of
right.
some things. But again, just getting the idea out and just going back to it and knowing that you can go back to it and knowing that again it might not get everything that you want out the first time, but just
Yes,
keep going back to it. And it's just I feel like writing is just like exercising. Like you just
it
have
is.
to do it,
And it's
and
therapeutic.
yeah, it's therapeutic. You just have to do it. um you know and before like I started copywriting my book and everything, I had two people close to me read it. Like I read it
Yes,
on video and I sent it to two people I was close to, and just wanted to get their honest opinion.
right.
And and I picked two people that like one person that wasn't into writing,
Hmm.
like so I wanted like someone totally removed to give me their opinion, and then the other person, she is been on the back end of entertainment, so I just wanted her to tell me what she's won like a lot of different like writing contests, so I wanted her
A
to
good
kind of
person to have. Oh, yeah.
yeah. So so I've always been blessed to have different people around me that are doing different things. And like I used to do this event called UPPN in Philly, and it's the
Hmm.
Urban Professional Network,
Yes.
Urban Philly Professional Network, and just you meet people, you network with people, and this one thing leads to
Yes, it
another.
does.
And I feel like every opportunity that I had, has been about networking with different people, just being in that right place at the right time, and someone saying, "Oh, check this person out," or just, it's just a lot of different ways that I've gotten to do different things, performance wise, where I was just in the right place at the right time.
I love
So
it.
I always tell the story. I took a I wanted to take an acting for the camera class at
Uh-huh.
the Walnut Street Theater, but it was the class was full. So the class was full, so I settled for a class called Audition Technique. But I
Right.
didn't have that much money at the time, so they had a work study program. So then, so I applied to the work study program. The work study program, what did I have to do for it? I had to operate the camera for the acting for the camera class.
Wow.
So it's like so it gave me the work study gave me 50% off the class that I was in. But
Mm-hmm.
because I was behind the camera for the acting for the camera class, I was in the class.
Isn't
So
that
it's like,
amazing?
yes. And then the teachers of that class gave me my first acting gig on
See,
screen. And I did an infomercial and I lost 20 pounds. And that was, that's what,
it's
like I always say, is
crazy how we're put in certain situations or certain places that we need. And
yeah.
most people, they used to, because I was a part of uh a group. It was a group of ladies. We volunteered to help people with their events. And I was a part of that group for a while. It was Emerge. And we started out as the butterflies. And that little group of ladies got us into so many different events. And that's how I learned a lot about what I'm doing right now. Is
Hmm.
I had to end. I met so many celebrities. I mean, I called it favor. I was like, everywhere I walked, I was meeting celebrities. And
Hmm.
um that's what happens. You have to be at, the right place at the right time.
And
And
just
that's
open.
exactly what you were. You did certain things to get you to where you need to be. And that's how I look at it. Like
Yeah,
certain,
and I've just always been double dipping, I would
yeah.
say. Like I've always been trying to do my full-time job
Uh-huh.
and
But it works. I mean,
dip into some other things, and talking about doing things a little at a time, like even for auditions. I
yep,
remember applying online, and my goal was just apply five to five things a week. If I keep at 5 things a week, then I'm going to get something. So,
that's right.
and you would go for these different spots. It might be a student film, it might be that, but you were
Exactly.
you were like if you kept consistent, it was like, okay, I'm not going to worry about who's saying no. But if
That's
I
the
keep up
yeah.
with like sending 5 out a week, my acting resume, sending
Yeah,
5 gigs a week, it just kept leading to things. And then
it
even
will.
if you showed up somewhere and you're like, man, I'm just this extra. Sometimes you're talking to other extras and then they're like, girl, go apply to
That's it.
this. So it's just, I just really
And
am about like paying it forward. And
and you have to. And then you're networking in the process. And then like some of the events that I even attended, they didn't know who I was. And I was volunteering, but I was going behind the scenes to get to where I need to be.
mm-hmm,
I'm standing next to people. They didn't know that I was the founder of the Arts and Authors Extravaganza. They
mm-hmm,
didn't know that I wrote 10 books. They
mm-hmm.
didn't know that I did these things. They thought I was just volunteering. No, I was volunteering to get to where I need to be,
Yes.
you know? But that's why I think it was an old saying that Oprah used to say, uh, or somebody said, I don't know who said it, but they were like, you never know who you're standing next to. You could be standing next to Oprah and you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I felt. Like you don't know who I am. And I'm not there to tell you who I am right at that moment because I had a mission.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what I was there for. And that's basically what you're, what you've gone through, as far as going, doing the behind the scenes.
Yes.
So
So
I appreciate what you're saying about that. Let me see what somebody else said, because somebody has to say. Linda said, I love operating cameras, sound equipment, and lighting. Enjoy them. Exactly how I know how I learned how to run a production company. That's right, Linda. That's right. Because she probably did the, the inside work to get to where she need to be as far as running her own production company.
and just know what, and I think when you go through something, it kind of shows you what to ask for too.
It
So,
does.
like if you don't go through it, you can't be like, okay, I really want this. This is exactly what I want. Like,
Yep, exactly. It's so true. Like some people, they don't understand the things that we have to go through. And sometimes yep, it's on the job training. That's exactly what I was about to say, Linda. It's on the job training because it's internship. These interns, they're going to these jobs. It's not like they're really learning how to do some of the things that they really are looking to do in life. And that's exactly what you went through, and also what Linda has gone through. And I think that's very smart. I think it's smart.
yeah, I
But
consider myself a lifelong learner. I can
me
always
too.
learn something from somebody. So I feel
Me
like if you
too.
operate in that, you always remain open. There's something that I get from somebody, you
That's
know.
right. Well, where can we find your books and your information? Where can we find your information? And
I My book is on Amazon, it's on Walmart.com, it's on Barnes and Nobles, it's on, I believe it's on eBay and Etsy. It's more reasonably priced. It's a $15 book on Walmart and Amazon, some other and Barnes and Noble, some other places. I when I check them, it's kind of high. So
oh yeah,
yeah,
Amazon is
so
not cheap sometimes. Plus,
so
we don't get all the royalties. So I teach that in my class too. It's better to
yes.
sell from your own websites than to
Yeah, so
sell through these
I
groups.
I do have it on multiple platforms. I do have some books that I plan to do some more in-person events this spring,
Right.
um, where I am live and I can hand you a book and sign it if you want me to
Yes.
sign it. I actually just brought some promotional items that I plan to use. So that's something that I'm excited about.
Beautiful.
I have a Facebook page called Veronica's Right Time. And Right Time is WRITE, Right
Right.
Time. So it's Veronica's Right Time. And it's a Facebook page that I created about a year ago. And I post things on there. I've posted some of my poetry on there. I posted my book links on there. I also Read Across America month is coming. That's March.
Nice.
So I'll be probably putting out some more things like that. Um, and just trying to get myself out there more and just doing some
Yeah.
interactive things. I was sharing with somebody the other day. I read my book to my class at the beginning of the school year.
Uh-huh.
And so I like, oh, they know that I wrote this book, right? So because I read it to the entire class at the beginning of the school year, but for some reason it wasn't until somebody was at my desk for help the other day, and my book's been behind me, like behind my
The
desk,
whole time.
like the whole time. I know I read it to them at the beginning of the
Right.
school year, but for some reason it wasn't until that day that it connected. So then they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And they're like, "You're on Amazon. You're
I
rich. You're
can't.
rich." And they're like going crazy, and I'm like picking up, and I was just like, "No, I'm not rich." I was like, "I'm not rich." They're like, "Yes, you are." I was like, "I'm not. Believe me, I'm not."
That is
And
so funny.
but it was like, and then like I had put like a YouTube, I had put a YouTube video out because someone gave me an opportunity to read my book and it be
No.
part of the Read Across America, where you could click on a state and you would hear all these authors read their
Yes.
books. So I did that last year, and I just happened to repost it on YouTube. So then, like, one of my students, like, he didn't know it. This really felt good. He was like, "Miss Dinkins, I wrote it. I watched your video 5 times." And I was like, "Wow!" Like, just like you just don't know, like, you
That's
know,
right.
how you just never know until you hear someone say something. But
Never know.
Veronica's Right Time, that's my page on Facebook. That's my tag on Instagram. I'm not on Instagram as much as some people are.
Yeah.
So like I respond more to my Facebook page. I'm trying
Yes.
to, I guess, get into Instagram, but I haven't really like been into it
Well,
as
you
much.
can do both at the same
Yes,
time. That's something
yes,
in the Book Builders Academy as well. So once you post on Instagram, it automatically posts on. I mean, once you post on Facebook, it automatically posts on Instagram and vice versa. So
okay,
you don't have to actually post in both areas
okay.
So
So that's something that I didn't know.
yeah. So so that's just a little something for you. But yep, you post in one place and it automatically posts in the other. So because if you're like me, you don't have a lot of time to do,
Yes,
all
my
that
time is
posting.
like
So
very.
you have to find easier ways to do it all at once. But I am so glad that you came on. It's interesting conversation. And I just wanted to comment on someone just noticing your items, after you've had it out there for a while. That's what I say about my arts and authors extravaganza. There's no way that any one person can come into a venue for a vendor's event and get a chance to go around to every single last person at that vendor event. But if they do, they may not purchase from you right then and there, but I guarantee you they will, if they're interested, they will
Mhm.
find a way to get in touch with you at a later time. And that's something that I encourage people, and I always like to put that out there, because most people think that just by coming to a vendor's event that they're supposed to sell everything that they have. No, that's
Yes,
not gonna happen every single time, because like I said, if you have 70 vendors, there's no chance that one
that
person can go out there and purchase from 70 people.
no, no.
It's not going to happen.
No, and I feel like timing is everything. And I
Timing
know, like,
is
some people are like, "Oh, I like
everything.
this, but I don't have any children."
I agree.
Um, and you have different things. So I feel like timing is everything. And but if you get enough people, like, I had one person, I did an event this summer and he bought 6. He was
Yep.
just, oh, he was
Exposure
buying
is
6 of
key.
them,
You just got to keep putting your information out there.
Mhm.
And, like even this podcast that's going on right now, we are spread across Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, Instagram. People know about it, uh, you know, and also Facebook. So the more information you put out there, the more chances you can sell more books. And
Yeah, so I'm definitely trying to do more of that,
that's
like,
what we have to do.
yes.
And what is Linda saying? Did she get it? Was nice seeing you, Veronica, and hearing about your writing accomplishments.
It's been lovely seeing you, Linda, and all your accomplishments. I've been watching everything on Facebook. I do have your book that you wrote last year.
Isn't she interesting? And
So
she also has a
I've like,
YouTube channel.
yes. So, and I saw your bullying thing the other day, and I was like, I was really there with you and liking all the things that you had to say. And so yes, it's
Yes,
good to see everybody that I've come across in all my different work environments and creative environments. And shout out to Hazel McGriff. She's
yes,
she's the
Hazel
reason
is the
why
lady.
she's the reason why I was even connected to to that
Yes,
event.
really.
So I
Oh,
wouldn't have went to that event if it wasn't for her.
I
So
love Hazel. And let me tell you, she has a Black History Month flyer that I just posted on my page. Is to get people to go to the mall, Oxford Valley Mall. And I know that there's some authors and artists that are looking to attend that event. It's for small businesses. So if you get a chance, go online and see that information.
I did see that. I did
Yes.
see that.
Listen, Hazel will get that information out for you. Do you hear
Well,
me? Listen, she keeps me in the loop because I don't get a chance to see everything. I mean, I have 7 pages on here. It's like I
mhm.
don't have a chance to see everything, but Hazel will keep me in the loop. And also Linda. I can't leave Linda out. Linda keep me in the loop. So, if anybody else out there, I don't get a chance to see everything, please send it to me, inbox me or text me or something. But Linda said everyone believes authors are rich. I believe God to become rich one day. Linda, you're going to be rich one day. I'm claiming that because I know you are. Please share some of that info for in-person events, Veronica, if you will, and all the links to everything that Veronica's talking about, that she's talked about, will be at the bottom of the page and in the groups. And Linda said, "Oh, didn't know you ordered my book. Hope you get to read it. Thank you, Veronica."
I started it. I need to finish it. It was a page turner. I feel like I don't like. I feel like I don't. As much as it sounds funny, I don't feel like I get to read complete books
That's
during
all
the
of
school
us.
year.
That's all of us. And I've been reading Linda's book for how long now, Linda? I know she can tell you. But between her book and Ronnie's book, I've been trying to get those 2 books done. Like, because most of the time I'm reading like, you know, the high 5 habits and 6 figure, because I can actually take notes and highlight something that I'm doing at the present time. But theirs is actually novels or books that I have to like read. And most of the time I don't get a chance to read as much as I want to. So I
Yes, because
know
when I was
you're
in high
coming.
school, it was
Yeah,
college. When I was in high school, I used to do a novel a week. And
yeah.
then college,
I
when you
did
used to have so
too.
many
I used
books
to
to
read
read.
everything. And
Yes.
now that's reading since 2020. Listen, I'm trying to read more novels. I'm trying to get these books, trying to concentrate more. But I know she loved me. I know she know I'm gonna get through that book. Trust me. But yes, but I appreciate you, Veronica, for coming on. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not missing anything.
Thank
So
you.
if
Thank
you
you for
can
having me.
write your information in the comment section, that will help them who's listening right now, so that they'll have at least your website or your Instagram or Facebook.
I know I wrote it
Our
somewhere.
next guest is going to be, and let me make sure that I have this right. It is going to be. Oh, actually, we have a special guest host that's a special guest that's coming on uh Friday, James C. Ellerby. Um, Normally this show is bi-weekly and it's bi-weekly Monday, but James is going to be on this Friday at 7 p.m. James C. Ellerby. He's an author, he's a spoken word artist, and I can't wait to have a conversation with him because we've been interacting with each other for a few years now. And he's excellent, and he's going to be reciting some of his poetry for us. I haven't asked him yet, but I know he will. And I'm looking forward to having him on the show on Friday. And then I will announce our next guest for the following Monday. But did you get a chance to put that? Is it hard to write it on there?
I am the first time, so I hope I was copying and pasting, and I thought I was pasting my book link, and I did a Zoom link. So please don't click the Zoom link.
Yeah, oh, I know. Great interview, ladies. Thank you, Arlette. I appreciate you for coming on and sharing some questions with us and comments.
Thank you, Arlette. That's
Yeah.
one of my good friends, chasingjoy.com.
Oh,
So,
oh, yes.
so,
Oh,
um,
we need to
so
talk about
yes,
lit too.
I have a lot of people around me that keep me, keep me going with
Yeah, I
different
believe it.
creative,
And Linda
things.
said it's hard for writers to read as much as we desire. I have a stack of books to read. Oh, yes. But you notice smaller books, and this is just something I had to put out there. Um, Smaller books are getting more attention nowadays because of the fact that a lot of us don't have a lot of time to read. Most of the time our attention span is not as broad as it was back in the day. So nowadays everything is just rush. So that's why I'm teaching in the Book Builders Academy that about 100 pages or less, a little bit less, is what's popular now. So I just had to throw that out there because of the fact that a lot of people don't have a lot of time to read. And Harminga said, "Wait, oh, I am the next guest. I'm not ready. Joke. Can't wait to work with you guys soon." Well, I can't wait to work with you either, Harminga. I'm like, ah, that's so cute. Okay, and Linda said, "I remember him from your author's event." Really? Linda, see, that's why you have to fill me in on things because, see, Veronica, this is why I host this podcast.
Yes, so
I don't
I'll
know.
probably, I hope some more people are watching that were in my inbox because they thought I was the host. So I hope I kept sending your information, so I hope that those people are watching also.
Yes, because it's so many. I'm telling you, I can't. I try my hardest to get around to everybody, but my husband, he tells me sometimes, he's like, "Kim, I don't understand how you plan an entire event from sitting behind your computer and you don't even meet these people until the day of your event, sometimes after, as you can see."
Mhm.
So it is hard. It's hard, but I'm going to get a chance to meet every single person. And Linda said, "Yes, enjoy, y'all. And you both look beautiful." Oh, thank you, Linda. You
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
are. But let me see. Hold on. What's going on? This is okay. So I think, Veronica, you put all your information in. I'm going to highlight that information and I'm going to make sure it's all in the comment section. But I appreciate you so much. Do you know we went over time? This is the first time since I've been doing this podcast that I've gone over time and didn't even realize it.
Well, we were flowing. We're flowing, so
Well, I love it. I thank you for coming on. Everybody that is listening, please like and subscribe to the channel. I know we're on several different platforms, but I appreciate you guys for coming on and listening to us. I appreciate you, Veronica, for coming
thank
on,
you.
sharing your beautiful story with us. And I look forward to seeing and hearing from you all on Friday.
All
But
right.
oh, hold on. Somebody have a question real quick. Let's see, or a comment. That's because we getting too old to read thick books. We fall asleep. She has never lied.
Well, it's one of the reasons why I like children's books and poetry is that I just get in and get out. Like,
It's true. And I think that's another reason why they're becoming more popular because not only are they good for children, they're good for adults
hmm
and it's a quick read.
yes.
And
I
I
mean, and
do
who
believe
knows?
that.
I said I might start my own adult picture books. So,
Listen,
I
I'll
mean,
read it.
my parents used to do comic strips. They used to read the comic strips in the newspapers. So,
Oh, I believe
adults
it.
adults are entertained by short stories.
Yes,
So,
we are.
so
Because of timing and everything seems like it's just yesterday. It's like everything is so fast. So we have to, hold these attention and like hold someone's attention a lot faster. And that's why having these short reads. So
Hmm.
if that's what we got to concentrate on, that's what we're going to have to concentrate on. But Linda said, great job, ladies. I thank you, Linda, for listening. I thank you all for listening. And
Thank
you
you.
all have a very good night. This is Kim from the Arts and Authors Talk Radio. And we'll see you on Friday. Have a very
All
good
right.
night, guys.
See you
Bye.
later.
Thanks, Veronica.
All right. Bye.